Foley art is the process of recording everyday and run-of-the-mill sounds and adding them back into the film. You may think Foley is just recording those sound effects and syncing them in post-production. Well, it is, but it can be a very creative storytelling technique with something called layering. Welcome to the Film Look. Thanks to Premium Beat for sponsoring today's episode. We recommend you check them out whenever you need a great track for your next film. Visit their royalty-free library to see what we mean. We've added a link in the description below. Without Foley, a film will feel unnaturally quiet. If there was one element of sound design you need in your film, it is Foley. It's definitely worth the time and effort and will get you closer to achieving the film look. Layering can become easy if you categorise sounds into different groups. First of all, you have sounds which are low frequency, bassy, rumbly, dark sounds. Then you have mid-frequency sounds, clear, audible and comfortable for the most part. And finally, you have high-frequency sounds, squeaky, buzzing and sharp. The idea of layering is to fill out the sound space by choosing some high, mid and low-frequency sound effects and place them on top of each other. This will give the sound effect a richer tone and some extra punch. You're probably sick of us saying this, but let's use our film The Asylum Groove as an example. We have a moment in the film where our character Sam, played by Chris, runs, kicks a bucket, trips over and hits the ground with a thud. When we filmed this scene, Chris jumped and landed on a pile of cushions, so we are actually starting from scratch. This is the original production sound. We're going to scrap all the production audio other than the grunt from Chris. We're going to build it all up from scratch, starting with the impact with the bucket and then the impact with the floor. The first thing we want to add is a bassy impact sound. We recorded hitting a cushion with a broom handle in the location. This sound will give the impact some weight and intensity because of the low frequency thud and the long echoey decay. So far, this doesn't really sound like someone hitting into a bucket, but next up we've got a mid-frequency sound. We recorded myself jumping onto a cushion. Originally, I thought this would provide a bassy sound from hitting the cushion, but the noise is actually coming from my boots hitting the floorboards. In sound design, there are no mistakes, only new discoveries. And to go together with our low and mid-frequency sound, we can choose something high-frequency. As the bucket is a metal hollow container, it will provide us with a tinny, high-pitched sound effect. So we recorded picking up and handling the bucket. These are our three sounds. And when you place them together, it sounds like this. So this is starting to sound good, but currently it's just an impact sound. What about the aftermath? One sound effect which will really bring the shot home is adding some sound for the post-impact. This will change depending on the shot you are working on, but for this shot, we used the sound of a bucket being kicked and rolling along the floor. This is very likely the first sound effect you'll record if you want a bucket kicking sound effect. But let's compare the sound recorded on its own to the layered sound design elements. It definitely gives the impact more cinematic punch, and it's good proof that the first choice isn't always the best choice. Once we fill in the scene with more sound effects, it really starts to give this shot life. Here is every sound added, layer by layer, excluding the music. With some simple layering, we have given this scene emphasis. It's an important part of the plot and character development, so giving it some extra oomph helps tell a better story. When layering, try not to add too many sound effects of the similar frequency because you will start to muddy the audio and won't be able to recognize each sound. And remember, you don't always have to fill the sound space. Sometimes two or even one sound element will do the trick. Sound design is all about experimenting, so why don't you try things out and see what does and doesn't work. And if you think this video works, why don't you give us a thumbs up and a thumbs down if you think it wasn't very good. You can subscribe here by hitting the orange lens cap, and just remember, achieve it one shot at a time.